owner Paul Dolan handing out pocket schedules for the 2011 season to the folks filing in for this, the final game at Progressive Field here on the year as the Indians wrap up a doubleheader against the Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Indians won the first half of this doubleheader this afternoon thanks to strong starting pitching by Mitch Talbot and the big bats. Travis Hafner, Shin-Soo Choo, each providing 2-run homers, and Choo, not only with the 2-run homer, not only doing it with his bat, with his arm as well.
Well, he's finishing this season very, very strong. Choo gets 3 hits in the ball game. There's his first base knock. Gets past Kelly. He's going to drop down a little bunt that they were giving him. He ends up scoring on the Travis Hafner home run, then steps up and makes it a 4-0 ball game with his 21st home run. So Shin-Soo Choo really finishing the year off strong, and he's been doing this all year long. Another assist for Choo on the double play ball. He has played brilliantly.
Travis Hafner also providing a 2-run homer for the Indians offensively, and that's all they needed thanks to Mitch Talbot's strong pitching performance this afternoon. Now, let's look at our pitching matchup for tonight. It's brought to you by the new G-Series from Gatorade. 3 fuels for 3 stages of the game. Gatorade has evolved. That's G.
Well, Justin Verlander going for win number 19, and he can always be tough. Coming off a win against the Minnesota Twins, complete game, 4 hits. Going up against Josh Tomlin, looking for win number 6. Josh coming off a win, and it's a complete game, 4 hits. You can see Josh trying to end the season on a positive note as well.
2 for the price of 1 tonight here at Progressive Field. We're back with a play-by-play coming up next. Field for game 2 of the doubleheader here tonight at Progressive Field behind Josh Tomlin, the right-hander making the start for the Indians. 5 wins, 4 losses on the season. And for Josh Tomlin, an ERA of 4.50. Let's look at Jim Leyland's starting 9 for game 2 of this double dip. It's Austin Jackson, Johnny Damon, and Casper Wells at the top. Ryan Rayburn, Johnny Peralta, Brandon Inge in the middle. Don Kelly, Scott Sizemore, and Gerald Laird round it out.
Tonight's starting pitcher brought to you by the Indians Team Shop. Josh Tomlin on, making his 12th start. A 5-4 record on the year. Coming off a complete game against the Kansas City Royals. Went 9 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, couple of walks, and 6 punch-outs. He really pitched a nice ball game in that one. He has pitched one time. His only start came at Detroit on August 21st, a 5-2 loss. He went 6 innings, 7 hits, gave up 5 runs in that ball game. Let's check out the defense behind Tomlin. It looks like this. Duncan, Brantley, Crow in the outfield. It's Nix, Sutton, Valbuena, Brown on the infield. Lou Marson behind the plate.
All ready to go as Austin Jackson steps in. And Josh Tomlin misses ball 1.
The old style doubleheader, huh? Traditional
Get
right
after
here.
it. Let's go.
That's the way it used to be. Let's play 2.
Strike call to even the count of 1-1. In the air, right field. Back goes Trevor Crow. Still going back. Onto the track. Reaches up, makes the catch. Hangs on as he slams into the wall. Oh, baby, what a play defensively by Trevor Crow. As Austin Jackson smashed that ball deep to right. Crow on that dead run, reaching back over his head and made the grab. And then took a nasty tumble, Rick.
I thought he turned that way where the ball was coming back, and it was almost over his head. He had to make an adjustment. It's going to be our McDonald's I'm loving, and that is a great catch. I mean, you don't know how tough that is. You're running straight back. You're back to the infield. Jackson thought he had extra bases. Crow had other ideas.
So with 1 down, Johnny Damon steps in. How's that for an opening act?
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, he hasn't been playing a whole lot of right field. That's a terrific play.
Shelley Duncan cuts the ball off in left center field. Damon's going for 2, and he'll go in sliding safely with a double. Our PNC Bank achievement of the game for the achiever in us all. Johnny Damon, 5th player in history, playing 140-plus games in 15 straight seasons. Pretty good list.
Boy, oh boy, look at that.
Wow.
You're not kidding. Rose, Robinson, Mays, and Aaron. Are you kidding? That's pretty durable right there.
And Johnny Damon is humble enough to probably look at that list and say, what am I doing on this list with those guys?
Well, I'll tell you.
But he's been a durable player.
Yes, he has. And, you know, up at the top of the lineup everywhere he has played. And to do that year in and year out, it's that's a credit to staying in shape and knowing what you're doing between the lines.
Of interest to note on that list, Jim Murphy pointing out that Cal Ripken's not on that list because of the strike interrupting that season in '94.
Okay. That's right. It ended in, what, August?
Yeah, so they didn't get to 140 games that year. Hadn't really thought about that. Unless they ended the season at 112 games played that year. I wonder if there were any other notable players that would have made it on that list. Redbird telling us that Lou Gehrig's streak ended in 1939 with 13 straight seasons of 140 games or more. Impressive nonetheless. Ryan Rayburn waiting on deck as Casper Wells awaits the 3-1 pitch, and he smashes it to short. Big hopper there. Sutton throws him out, and a nice job at first by Jordan Brown to maneuver the feet.
That's a tricky play at first because you're walking across the bag as that base runner's coming down the line, and he's running hard. Watch as he crosses it, changes feet, comes across the bag and makes the play.
I suppose if he tries to go out in front and make the play, he probably comes
can't
off
do
the
it.
base.
No, he made it just enough time. He crosses up that base runner. I bet it shocked him.
Ryan Rayburn in left field tonight. There's a drive deep right field. Crow back again on the track. He's out of room, and it's out of here. Ryan Rayburn with a 2-out, 2-run homer. And the Tigers take a 2-0 lead. So Crow saved him with the first batter of the game. But Tomlin can't get out of the first unscathed.
No, he cannot. I'll tell you, Rayburn put a good swing on the ball. He hit it a long way. His 15th home run this year. There it is. That ball comes back on the outside part. It stayed elevated a little bit. And it hits on top above the yellow line and ricochets into the seats for Rayburn.
Well, that'll bring a smile to Jim Leland's face. Talking about earlier about how he loves the long ball and the power. They haven't had much of it in this series till now. Johnny Peralta fights it off. Tomlin deals, and Peralta shoots it back into the seats. And the 0-2 in the air, center field. And it drops. Brantley couldn't get to it. A bloop hit for Johnny Peralta. Well, he didn't get much of this. It was up in the strike zone.
It was up above the letters. Just didn't hit it hard enough, and it's going to fall in front of Brantley. So the third hit in the first inning for the Tigers.
Here's Brandon Inge, and he hits a ground ball to short. Sutton will go the short way to end the inning. But Ryan Rayburn's 2-out, 2-run homer as the Tigers on top 2-0 as the Indians come to bat. Presented by Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Michael Brantley, Trevor Crow, Shin-Soo Choo, Shelley Duncan, Jordan Brown, and Jason Nix, Luis Valbuena, Drew Sutton, and Lou Marson.
Justin Verlander on the mound at 18-8, and he's looking for win number 19. That'd be the first Tigers pitcher to have back-to-back 19-win season since Jack Morris did it. And that goes back a ways, so he has had a very good year. 2-0 against the Tribe this year.
Well, he's already been staked to a 2-run lead here in the first. Popped up, out of play.
Yeah,
no balls, 2 strikes.
Verlander has made 4 starts against him. He started out the year with a no decision, then a win, then a no decision, and then another win. So start number 5, and he is 10-10 in his career against the Indians. They beat him up when he first came up to the big leagues, but I'll tell you what, he has turned it around in his last 8 starts.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Now, the one thing that is nice when you're a manager with a guy like Justin Verlander, you don't really have to worry about going to your bullpen early in a game, hardly at all.
Yeah, he usually, when he goes out there, he's going to take it for a long time.
Looked like he wanted strike 3 there, didn't get it, 2-2.
Well, the times that the Indians have had success against him, they've been able to make him work deep. A lot into counts, and they get, that's not going to work.
That's what I was talking about earlier. That big curveball has become a huge difference maker for Justin Verlander.
Yeah, and you can see that curveball comes right down on the outside corner, and boy, Verlander, that's 210 punch outs now for him this year. I was going to say, if you have success, try and work him deep in the count, get up to that 100 pitch mark in the 5th inning.
Our friend Bert Blyleven threw one of the best curves in a long time in the game of baseball, won 287 games, and very likely will be elected to the Hall of Fame this winter. He watched Verlander last week against Minnesota, and Blyleven said afterwards, quote, "I liked his curve a lot. It's a lot like mine. Outstanding tight rotation. Starts out about chest high, ends up down around the ankles at times." Went on to say it's the best curve I've seen from anybody for a long, long time.
Well, a lot of guys don't throw that curveball anymore.
In the gap, Jackson runs it down 2 away.
Let's check out the Tigers defense for you. Brought to you by Huntington Bank. It's Rayburn in left. Jackson is in center. Wells is in right. Inge at third. Peralta at short. Sizemore at second. Kelly is at first. Gerald Laird gets the start in game 2 of tonight's ball game.
Tell you what is interesting, too, Rick, about Bert Blyleven. In that game against the Minnesota Twins, Detroit won 10-1 was the final score.
Right.
And Verlander was on the verge of his 4th career shutout, except an unearned run was scored with 2 out in the 9th inning. And Blyleven said afterward, that upset me, too.
Well, a former pitcher, he was right there with him.
Yeah.
You know, when you have an opportunity for a shutout and you get that close, you want to get it, regardless, no matter how it turns out.
And when you've watched a guy pitch that well and really dominate a game, 1-1 delivery to Chu.
You know, in his last 4 games, he has 41 strikeouts and just 4 walks. So he has dominated offenses.
Verlander said it was 4 or 5 starts ago that he found this curveball in the 3rd or 4th inning of a game.
You know, isn't it amazing that you can go out there and you can, and I don't care how many times or how many years you have in the big leagues, all of a sudden it's a feel. You feel something, it clicks, and it stays with you.
Verlander said now it's figuring out what exactly is getting that curve to where I want it to be and working on that in spring training as opposed to finding it in the last month of the season.
Well, you know, that's unfortunate for him that he finally found it. Hitters are probably saying, God, you could have waited about another 3 starts before you found it. But it looks awfully sharp again tonight.
If he has that pitch coming out of spring training next year, look out, Cy Young Award. Because if he adds that kind of a pitch to his repertoire consistently,
well, it'll be scary. And you see, that's what that pitch that Chu just fouled off, that high fastball, that's what makes it scary because it's in the mid-90s, and both pitches start off on the same plane. So, you know, you see that curveball start up there, and you think, oh, that's a fastball, it's out. And the next thing you know, it's in the strike zone.
Well, and the other thing, to your point about trying to get that pitch count up with Verlander, in the last 5 years, he's the only pitcher to throw 120 pitches in 4 straight starts, according to BaseballReference.com.
Oh, he can throw a lot of pitches because it
doesn't seem to bother him either.
No, he's a horse. Yeah, if you help him out and give him some early innings, he's going to go deep into the game, no question.
3-2, blew it by him at 98. Indians go in order, 2-zip Detroit after 1.
Subway, play hard, eat fresh. By Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. And by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers.
Second inning here at Progressive Field. Don Kelly, Scott Sizemore, Gerald Laird, bottom third of the Tigers ordered 2 up here. And a drive to right. And keeping Trevor Crowe busy out there in the early going. 1 away. Jim Reynolds behind the plate. Bill Welke is at first. Mike DeMuro at second. And Alan Porter down at third. Indians have now won 5 straight. 7 in a row over the Tigers here in Cleveland.
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, they came in here and it was the 4-game sweep right after the All-Star break that started the slowdown of the Tigers.
Meanwhile, they've lost 8 of 9 in Detroit this year.
Yeah, we can't win there.
Hanging curve. It's lined past Nix at third.
Well,
and
the Tigers
Sizemore with the base hit.
having some very good swings off Josh Tomlin early in this game. He's going to have to get the ball down. You see that? This is a guy that cannot pitch up in the strike zone. Coming off a complete game where he really pitched a gem. Everything now is up early, and the Tigers are taking advantage of it and showing you.
Gerald Laird getting the start in the nightcap of the doubleheader. Takes a strike. With the 4-zip shutout in the first game, that's the 10th time this year that the Tigers have been blanked on the year. Strike is called. 0-2 the count. Laird and then Austin Jackson for Detroit here in the second. During the Indians' 5-game win streak, they've averaged almost 5 runs a game. And they've held their opponents to 2 runs a game. And that's how you put together a win streak right there.
Exactly right. And they've been doing it the long ball. They put together some big innings. A couple of days they had 5-run innings. First game they had a pair of 2-run homers.
The 0-2. There's a drive to deep left field. Duncan going to play it off the wall. Tried to deke the runner. But Sizemore flying into third safely and the throw just a bit offline. So Laird into second with a double. And Detroit really teeing off on Tomlin here tonight.
Yes, they are. That was an 0-2 pitch, by the way. And another pitch that's going to stay middle of the plate. Hitters let you know when you make a bad pitch. And there you see it. In his last start, the cutter, the sinker, everything was right there. So an 0-2 pitch goes off the scoreboard. That's already 5 hits the first 9 hitters faced. A couple of doubles, a home run.
Now here's Austin Jackson, who flied to deep right field his first time up. Sent Crow to the wall. And he fouls it straight back. Jackson might have chased after it. No, says first base umpire Bill Welke.
No, it was close. He's one of those guys, though, that he waits a lot. He waits a long time before he tries to shoot that ball the other way.
Foul up the first base side over by the Tiger dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes with runners at second and third and only 1 out here in the second inning.
No, you certainly do not want to spot Verlander many more.
Tomlin trying to work out of a serious jam here. And he's up high with the Heat 2-2. Now Tomlin deals. Swung on and missed. A big strikeout for the young right-hander. 2 down. Now he's got a chance to get out of this inning without any run scoring, and that would be huge for his confidence right now.
Yes, it would. It looks like he throws a cut fastball or breaking ball, actually. It was curveball. Goes straight down, and he was able to get Jackson to chase it. He set it up with that high fastball on the pitch before that Jackson didn't bite at, but he follows that one up, and he changed the eye level, and that was a big strikeout. 1 more to go.
Damon cuts and misses. He doubled the left center his first time up. The 0-1. Down and in. You know, as you've said, hitters will let a pitcher know when he's missing his spots. But I wonder what goes through a pitcher's mind when he's having a start like this. Is it, oh my goodness, I don't have anything tonight, and how am I going to get out of this? Or is it one of those, I'm just missing, you know, if I just make a slight adjustment here, I think I can figure it out?
He's going to continue. You try and make pitches to stay out of the middle of the plate. You know, he realizes that some of the pitches he's making, they're mistakes, and they're hitting him. He's got to find a way or tweak it to get that ball out of the middle of the plate and still try to pitch from in front of the hitters.
Because I've
heard
heard
pitchers,
it's
an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, and because we've both heard pitchers say, well, I went out there and I had nothing tonight. Right. But somehow I battled and I managed to stay in the game. I just wonder how you do that when you know in your own mind, well, I don't have anything tonight.
Well, you'll be in the showers quickly then. You know that.
The 1-2 to Damon.
Tell you what it has done, though. It's the third straight hitter that he's been 0-2 or 1-2 on. He made a bad pitch after he had Laird down in the count. So he's got a chance to get out of it. If he can do that and put a 0 up here, that'll be just fine.
Now the 1-2. Wouldn't chase the high heat. It's a 20-pitch first inning for Josh Tomlin coming up right here. Broken bat on the infield. Look out. Tomlin and Valbuena, they almost collide. Tomlin takes a tumble, a run scores, and the inning stays alive.
Well, right there, I think Tomlin interfered with Valbuena coming in. And really, that he was jammed with the pitch, and Tomlin was afraid it was going to fall, so he wants to make the play. How many pitchers do you see breaking back? You got to give the second baseman a chance to catch that ball. Actually interfered with him and got in his way. Valbuena felt it.
Yeah.
You know, he felt it. You had to, because you don't want to go head on with the pitcher. That goes as a base hit?
Yeah.
Wow, what a base hit that would be, huh, for a ribby? But you can see what Tomlin's thinking. He wants to get out of the inning so badly that, he wants to make a catch and thinks he has to catch that ball. But actually, Valbuena could have came in and made the catch. So they were able to add on. Did a good job to pitch out of it.
The 0-1, runner goes, pitch popped in the air. Should be a little easier play this time. Brantley calls off Crow and makes the catch. And the inning is over, but Detroit tacks on a run. They lead it 3-0 in the middle of the second. It's a 3-0 Detroit lead as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Shelley Duncan, Jordan Brown, Jason Nix due up for the Tribe. Duncan getting the start here in game 2, batting .232 on the year, 11 homers, 36 driven in. Verlander with a fastball strike. And that's one of those deals too for a hitter that can't be very comforting, knowing that Verlander, much like CC Sabathia, who we watched for years here, he's got a fastball that, it's still low 90s, that he just feathers in there.
Yeah.
Knowing that when he needs it, he can reach back for 97, 98.
Well, you get geared for that as a hitter. And you know what? You realize if you get a pitch from Verlander, you don't want to foul it off. You want to put it in play and hit it hard somewhere. And you just, if he gets ahead of you, he's going to get you out if he makes his pitches. But, he will make mistakes. You got to try and get yourself in hitters' counts because, now Shelley Duncan's 1-2. He can go a couple of different ways, and he's sitting out there and he's thinking about it right now. You go breaking ball, you go fastball, and they're going fastball away.
I don't think that's what he wanted to do with that pitch as much as he might have just overthrown. Big curve. That's the one we were talking about, that big overhand curve. Looked like he was begging for the call, didn't get it. He doesn't like it. Let's take another look. What do you think, Rick?
Well, let's see. I'd be walking back to the dugout. That's a tough pitch to get called a strike, though, on a curveball.
And again, as you pointed out before, because very few pitchers throw that pitch anymore, the umpires don't get very many looks at it.
And you know what? It goes down so hard, and that's why Reynolds is fooled on that pitch. That was a strike. And now Laird's talking to him about it right now. He's saying, that ball went past his knees. You got to understand that thing's going straight down, boss. And, maybe Reynolds has never been behind the plate this year, as we talked about it, with a pitcher, to see that curveball the way it's going. So now, as I say, when you're a catcher and you go out there and you've got your pitcher that's dealing and he's throwing something good, you got to warn that umpire, stay with his curveball. Don't give up on it because this thing's been, it's been really good about the last half a dozen starts.
The 1-0 pitch. High and away. 2-0. Brown fouls the 95-mile-an-hour heater straight back. Brown, then Jason Nix here in the second for the Tribe. .97 at the shoulders.
Well, it's okay. You keep working. You keep working them. You keep going deep in the count, and you try and get us some base runners and make them work. This is just the first time through the lineup. It's only the fifth hitter.
Brown with a liner deep to right. It's over the head of Wells. And Jordan can safely stroll into second base with a one-out double as the Indians get their first hit of the night.
Well, there you go. Jordan had a 3-1 count, so he could sit there and eliminate doubt and say, I'm going to sit on the fastball. Not only does he get it, but he was able to put a short stroke on it, and the ball just jumps off his bat. So he's just trying to throw a strike, and Brown puts a very good swing at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and it short hops the wall. The pitcher, when he's throwing that hard, will supply the power. So stay short, stay quick. He gets the Indians' first hit.
Jason Nix. .13 homers on the year, 27 driven in. Those are his numbers while a member of the Indians. Back out of play. For the year, Jason, 14 dingers, 32 RBIs. He has 15 doubles. But overall, just a .224 batting average. So I guess when you compute the average with the homers, it's pretty productive for the times that he's been putting the ball in play.
Well, they wanted to get a good look at him, and I think they have in the second half of getting a look at Nix. They put him out there. They played him at third an awful lot to see if he could be a stopgap guy for him in that position. And, you know, it's hard to tell. They still need some help. He's not a third baseman by trade. He's much more comfortable, I think, at second base, although he hasn't played much second base here with the Indians. He'd have a lot of work to do to play third.
Back to the mound. Verlander had the runner hung up, but he'll take the sure out. 2 down.
He did have him hung up, and you know, I think Inge was just didn't expect him to go to third.
Here's a look at our AT&T trivia question tonight. AT&T Rethink Possible. Only member of the 500 home run club with less than 800 walks. Oy. All right, Luis Valbuena takes a strike. Now Valbuena. He asked, he nodded, then he just turned away. The 0-1.
How about that?
That gets away from Laird, and the Indians will steal a run. I thought Valbuena tipped it at first, the way it sounded, but.
Well, now how big was that play that was right back to Verlander? He wanted to get Brown, and they didn't get him between second and third. A wild pitch on that curveball deflects off Laird. That turns out to be big. The Indians are on the board. For Verlander, that is his 10th wild pitch.
Well, there's that big curve. Drops in for a strike. And the count is 1-2. So it's a 3-1 Tigers lead now. And the 1-2 to Valbuena. Spun him out of there with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. This is the play, though, that got the Indians to run.
Now, see, watch where Inge, he's sort of flat-footed. And he wanted to go to third, but he was back there, and he didn't. He had him.
Yeah, if he throws the ball to where Inge is standing, I don't think Inge can get to the bag in time to make a play. The inning is over, but the Indians get on the board. 3-1 Detroit after 2. Stay tuned later in the game to see our Miller Taste Greatness moment. Last night was a complete washout.
Yes,
beautiful day and gorgeous evening here in downtown Cleveland.
Just the perfect night to sit out by a campfire and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, sit out by a fire and have a nice night.
Bring some firewood with you?
I do, as a matter of fact. A couple of big fat logs and put them on and let's go.
Here the 0-1. Line drive center field. Another base hit for Detroit. Let's go back to the studios for an in-game update with Al Pulaski.
All right, Matt, the Braves trying to finish off the Marlins tonight. Ninth inning, Billy Wagner does just that. Atlanta beats Florida 5-1. They're now up 2 games in the National League wild card race with San Diego at the moment. Braves victorious today. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al.
They just have to keep on winning, you know.
Johnny Peralta base hit his first time up, swing and a miss at the curveball in the dirt.
Yeah, game and a half lead going into today. So it's 2-game lead now for Atlanta in the wild card. So they don't have to watch any scores, just continue to win.
In the air to center. Michael Brantley cruises back. 1 away here in the third. Tonight at 11, it's the GMC Berea Report right here on Sports Time Ohio. We'll find out if Jake Delhomme will be ready to go this Sunday for the Browns against the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll hear from Coach Eric Mangini and Jake Delhomme. And will the secondary be ready for T.O. and Chad Ochocinco? We'll hear from Joe Hayden and Eric Wright. The GMC Berea Report tonight at 11 right here on STO. Base hit to right center. The hit parade is on for Detroit tonight. Inge holds with a long single. Tigers at the corners with only 1 out.
Well, these guys are spraying the ball all over this field tonight.
8 hits already for the Tigers.
And Crow does a good job to cut this off to hold Inge to a single. Or, you know, it keeps the double play in order. That's the big thing here. That's a high cutter. Inge goes inside out the other way. Now that keeps the double play in order. He hasn't gotten many ground balls because he hasn't been down in the strike zone, but at least you give that pitcher an opportunity to make 1 pitch and get 2 outs.
Don Kelly takes a strike.
Kelly,
right his first time up.
He's been hitting the ball in the air all night long. You go in the first game, he had 3 flyouts to center and 1 to right.
Nice grab with the glove.
That's our man with the sign from Continental, isn't it? It sure is. He's got the signs in front of him.
Yeah.
That's our guy. Works at Continental and he makes signs every road trip. Nice catch. He brought the glove, huh?
Beautiful.
Last game of the season, he catches a foul ball. Nicely done.
Swung out and missed. And Kelly strikes out. Second K for Tomlin. 2 down here in the third. I think I saw his sign earlier, and it said something to the effect, this is my last game till next April, so make it a good one.
Well, he did. He made it a good one.
Yeah, he did. Scott Sizemore, base hit his first time up. No relation to Grady Sizemore. Grady is back in Arizona. He's been rehabbing at the Indian spring training facility at Goodyear, Arizona. Been doing a lot of work in the pool because they're trying to keep the weight-bearing activities to a minimum as Sizemore recovers from the microfracture surgery on his knee. But everybody's hopeful that he will be ready to go next year for the Tribe. Josh Tomlin trying to work his way out of this inning. First and third, 2 down. And the pitch is a called strike. So now 50 pitches for Tomlin. 37 of them have been strikes. But too many times here in the early going, he's been in the fat part of the plate.
Well, yeah, unfortunate that he had a chance to get out of last inning. and they ended up getting that run because he went after that ball and interfered with Valbuena. But
he's got this one. He'll take it himself, and the inning is over. 3-1 Detroit, middle of the third. This has to hold me till April, so make it a good one.
That's it. You already made it a good one. He's got the smile. He goes home with a baseball as well.
Beautiful. All right, let's go now to the bottom of the third, see if the Indians can get that offense revved up against Verlander. Drew Sutton, Lou Marson, and Michael Brantley for the Tribe. Drew Sutton, switch hitter. Looks at ball one outside. Fastball missing again. 2 balls and no strikes. Verlander does not exactly have pinpoint control here early in the ball game.
That's one of the things the Indians have to use to their advantage. Don't go up there and give them easy outs. Make them get in the strike zone.
They have to feel pretty good to have 1 hit, 1 base runner, and already 1 run.
He gave him a run with the wild pitch, and they didn't make the one play getting him from second and third. And they're very lucky to be in this game right now, 3-1. The Tigers have 8 hits. They've left 5 stranded. So right now, you just make this guy work.
Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. He came back and got him from 3-0 to the punch out. 3rd strikeout for Verlander. 1 down here in the 3rd.
Well, the Cleveland Indians Charities would like to thank our fans and supporters for a great year this year in 2010. Over $1.5 million was raised for Cleveland Baseball Federation, Boys and Girls Clubs of Cleveland, and the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. And your support allows CIC to fulfill its mission of providing opportunities to the youth of Northeast Ohio. Once again, thank you, fans.
Lou Marson. The 0-1 down low. Now, Lou Marson was originally in last night's starting lineup. And then when we came to the ballpark today, both lineups were exactly the same, except Luke Carlin was inserted into the starting lineup for Game 1, which meant Marson would play Game 2. And imagine Lou Marson saying, "Oh, I get to face Verlander. Great."
Well, I want to know. I was just thinking about that. Maybe it's changed because he wanted Marson to catch Tomlin. Did he catch him in Kansas City when he had the complete game? That's what I would think. Maybe if you're going to catch one, I could be totally wrong too.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, I'm sure there was some thinking that went into it because otherwise he would have just left the lineup exactly the same. But I was just thinking, if you're Marson, you're thinking, oh boy. Been a tough enough year, Skip. How about let the other guy get Verlander? But Luke Carlin providing some offense today for the Tribe. He had a walk and a base hit.
Talbot pitched 7 innings.
3 for 6 in the series for Luke Carlin. Nice job indeed. Yeah, ends up catching a shutout. 2-2. It's up high, full count for Lou.
That's what you like. This is his 4th full count, being the 9th man he has faced.
And it will be his 50th pitch of the evening.
See that? You like that. Keep it going. And you foul off a few. You know, normally when a guy like Verlander or a top-notch starter, they don't give up a lot of base hits in a row. You're not going to string 4 or 5 hits together. You're not going to, put up a 5-run inning. You wouldn't think. Unless he walks a couple guys and someone happens to run into one. And that's what you hope for.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 2 down. So even though he's fallen behind, Rick, he's been able to come back and seal it. He was behind Sutton 3-0. Came back to get the strikeout. 3-2 to Marson. Another strikeout, and it brings up Michael Brantley. I don't know if Jim Leland has discussed it publicly or not. I don't know that he's been asked publicly, but I read that there was some chatter that if Verlander were able to win tonight to get to 19, would he come back then on short rest to go for a 20th victory in the final game of the season against Baltimore?
Well, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's got something in his contract that if he gets 20 wins, he gets another $500,000 or $1 million. Who knows?
Brantley smacks that one to center field. Excuse me. And he's going to hold with a long single. Jackson did a nice job of getting to it. Second hit of the night for the Indians off Verlander. This one comes with 2 down here in the 3rd.
Yeah, he just throws a fastball right down Broadway, and Michael takes advantage of it. Lines it into center field. He was thinking about 2. Can't get thrown out, though, at second base. Jackson does a nice job of cutting it off. We're going to see that young center fielder around a long time. That's pretty good numbers right there for Michael Brantley. 6 for 12 off Verlander.
Brantley again back with a quick dive. A weak ground ball hit to second. Sizemore throws him out. And through 3, it remains Detroit 3, Cleveland 1. Tigers on top as we go to the fourth inning. Gerald Laird looks at a ball down low. Laird doubled his first time up off the wall in left field. Down low to Laird. Josh Tomlin, and this will be pitch number 55. And it's funny when you look at it, Rick. Laird's batting for the second time tonight, so he's gone through the lineup twice.
Right.
Verlander's just gone through it once, plus 2 batters, and they're about on the same number of pitches. Verlander's just gone deep into a lot of counts. Laird strikes out. And that's 3 Ks for Tomlin, 1 down in the fourth. Here's our Subway fresh face of the game. Rob Bryson, 7-2 with a 2.53 ERA between Lake County, Kinston, and Akron. 53 innings, 21 walks, 80 strikeouts. He was also part of the package from Milwaukee in the CC Sabathia trade. Austin Jackson 0 for 2 tonight. Austin Jackson has played extremely well, not only all season long, but in particular against the Indians this year. So it's been a little unusual for us to see him strike out 3 times here today, twice in the first game of the doubleheader and once already here in the nightcap. Batting averages at .298. He wants badly to try to finish the year at or above the 300 mark. Fly ball to right. Crow has it. 2 down.
Well, Indians Team Shops are your year-round sports gear headquarters. Stop by the Westgate Team Shop in Fairview Park for all your Indians, Browns, Cavs, and Buckeyes merchandise. Indians Team Shop, getting gear.
In the air, center field. Easy play for Brantley and a quick 1-2-3 fourth for Josh Tomlin. Still, Tigers on top 3-1. 3-1 Detroit in front. Bottom of the fourth inning here at Progressive Field, and Shin-Soo Choo, Shelley Duncan, Jordan Brown for the Tribe. Swung on and missed. Choo struck out his first time up. Look at our great clip of the game, brought to you by Great Clips. Shin-Soo Choo providing the second of the Tribe's two-run homers. Off back Scherzer, relax here at Great Clips. Indians winning 4-zip this afternoon. Verlander's 1-1. Up high with it. Boy. It seems like when he has had to make a pitch in a particular at-bat, whether it's a 2-1 to get the count back to even or a 3-2 to get a strikeout, he's been razor sharp. But at other times, he's all over the place.
Well, I very well could be. Not many guys can go ahead and pitch behind the count and come right back and make it look easy like Verlander's doing tonight.
Yeah, it's like being ahead in the count doesn't really do you much good when you're facing him.
Yeah, well, it is amazing because he's been able to come back and just swing it his way. That's strikeout number 5 now for Verlander.
Now, you pointed out when Jordan Brown, when he got the count tipped in his favor, he got a good pitch to hit and put a good swing on it.
Yeah, he did.
But a number of these other times when he's been behind in the count, he still comes back and he makes a quality pitch. There to Choo, it's away. It's not in the heart of the plate.
That's where you sort of, as a hitter, go, you tip your cap. You hate to do it and hate to give pitchers credit, but
he didn't fall out of bed and win 18 games.
No.
I mean, this is a guy with a pretty good track record.
Well, and a guy that not many guys you go out there and you swing and miss. He already has 8 swings and misses, where they don't even foul it off, don't get a piece of it.
Big curveball, and then
there's the equalizer. That's not even an equalizer. That's illegal. Look at Duncan saying, are you kidding me? That ball started at my eyes. It ended down below near my toes, though. Watch the break. You see, now he's going to get that one called. Remember the other pitch he threw down in the strike zone he didn't get called that we thought was a strike?
Duncan drives this one to left field. And it hits off the wall in front of Rayburn, who did not play that well, but Duncan will stop at second with a one-out double. Rayburn probably went back too far before he realized he wasn't going to make a play, or might have just given up on him a little too quickly.
That's right. Go back and try and catch it and hit the wall with your back.
If you're going to go, right?
Yeah, he didn't know where it was. He came back. Verlander came back with another breaking ball. This one was down. And Duncan just saw that big curveball, the pitch before. See, he's drifting, and then he realized he was on the track. He was not quite sure where he was going into that wall. So he gives up on it. That ball hits the wall. Not to say he could have caught that ball, but you either you make that commitment to go get it, or you turn around and play it off the wall.
Jackson was there smartly to back up the play. And now Jordan Brown gets into one deep right field, but not deep enough to do any damage. The catch is made by Wells. Duncan will tag, and he'll go to third, 2 down. And so, with 2 away, the Indians have a runner at third for Jason Nix. He's talking to Steve Smith. I could read his lips. He's talking about the pitches. First pitch on the block, second pitch, breaking ball.
And Smitty's saying, hey, just worry about that wild pitch he might throw here. You've got to score.
Absolutely. You got to be aware of that with Verlander.
Well, on that first curveball, that's how they got their first run on a wild pitch.
Knee buckler to Nix, though. Comebacker to the mound his first time up. And the 0-2. Fastball right back. Boy, Nick's had a good cut. But again, he's throwing 97, 98 miles an hour, which is tough enough to hit. But he's not throwing it right down the middle of the plate either.
And he started him off with 2 breaking balls. So back of your mind, you're still looking fastball. And you can't be convinced, even if he throws another curveball, he may get you. And he's coming with the breaking ball, curveball, fastball away, changeup.
And Nix with a 2-out base hit drives in a run. It's a 1-run contest as Duncan scores. Nix gets his 28th RBI and makes it a 3-2 game.
I'll tell you what, that was the last pitch they got to. I don't think Laird wanted to throw that. Verlander did. Indians right back in this game. A changeup. When you're throwing 97 and you got a great curve like that, and that's probably his 4th best pitch. Well, at least it is tonight. And he left that one up, and Nix takes advantage of it. The Indians right back in, making a 3-2 ball game. And that's only their 4th hit.
And again, going back to Jason Nix, we talked about it earlier. 224 batting average, but he has found a way to be very productive. 40% of his hits, Rick, I looked at 40% of his hits have been extra base knocks. So while the batting average is not impressive, the fact that when he does put the ball in play gives it a jolt.
Ooh.
Valbuena fouls it out of play, 2-1.
Well, bottom of the 4th, this will be pitch number 70 now for Verlander.
And a bouncing ball to second. Sizemore throws him out, but the Indians get another run closer. It's a 3-2 Tigers lead now as we go to the 5th. McDonald's. Get a new Chicken McNuggets party pack. 50 Chicken McNuggets for just $9.99. McDonald's, I'm loving it. By KeyBank. Stop in and start a conversation and unlock your possibilities. And by Panini's. Panini's. Visit any of our 18 locations in Northeast Ohio, now including Twinsburg. Fifth inning here at Progressive Field. Tigers with a 3-2 lead. Indians trying to claw their way back in it. Now Josh Tomlin delivers, and Casper Wells fouls it straight back. Tomlin Maybe he's found his stride. He's retired 5 in a row.
Well, they're in the ball game now. Now, this is it's interesting, and it's amazing what you can do. You know, Tomlin was out there. They had opportunities. He was able to get through.
He gave up 8 hits in the first 2 1/3 innings. Duncan dives, can't get it. And into second base was Wells with a double, and he holds there. He had a notion to go to third, but stopped after he took a pretty wide turn, realizing that he's the leadoff man and he's in scoring position right out of the gate.
Well, a third double tonight, and Duncan going after this ball probably wasn't going to reach it. Should have stayed on his feet, but you know, you think you can catch it, you got to get after it. That wasn't that close. Gets up, he still only gets a double, so the leadoff double.
Ryan Rayburn has already driven in 2 runs tonight. A 2-run homer in the first. He singled his last time up and takes a strike. Out of play down the right side. Now the set and the 0-2. Doubleheaders are a rarity in baseball nowadays, and the Detroit Tigers could be headed for back-to-back doubleheaders because they're heading to Baltimore after the game tonight, and the chance of rain in Baltimore tomorrow is between 70 and 100% all the way through midnight tomorrow. So there's a real good chance that they're going to get rained out tomorrow in Baltimore and have to turn around and play a doubleheader on Saturday. Or it's Friday, rather. Bouncing ball towards second. Valbuena throws out Rayburn. They retire him for the first time tonight. Wells goes to third, and it'll bring up Johnny Peralta.
Job well done, though. He was able to move the runner over.
This game recap is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers. Ryan Rayburn in the first inning jumps on a pitch, drives it out of here for a 2-run homer. And then in the second inning, Johnny Damon with, I don't know what you call this, oops, and it's another run for Detroit, 3-zip. Tribe comes back. They get 1 in the second on a wild pitch, and Jason Nix with a 2-out RBI hit in the fourth cuts it to 1 run for a dealer near you. Visit buyatoyota.com. Johnny Peralta singled in that first. Applied to center his last time up. Infield in with a runner at third and 1 out. Little tapper foul. The set now in the 2-1. Straighten him up. 3 balls and a strike on Johnny Peralta.
Well, they don't want to give him a pitch outside that he can just flick to right field. Try and get that runner in, so they're going to try and make him work and utilize those hands, stay in on him. That away.
So they walk him, and he's aboard with 1 out, and it brings up Brandon Inge. Let's go back to the studios for another in-game update with Al Pulaski.
All right, Matt, the Yankees are a half game behind the Rays entering plays tonight, but look at the Blue Jays. Every one of them has a fake mustache on tonight. in honor of their manager, Cito Gaston. By the way, Toronto leads New York 3-0. Travis Snyder with the home run here. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks, Al. First and third with one out. Inge steps in. Base hit his last time up. Tomlin deals, and a swing and a miss. Now the 0-1. Swung on and missed, boys. Fooled him. And now Inge in a no-2 hole. Two-strike pitch. Oh, he got him. Big pitch for Josh Tomlin, 2 down. Keeps that runner at third. And it brings up Don Kelly.
Gets his 4th strikeout, and that comes at the right time, boy. He got ahead of him, and he expanded the strike zone, and Inge went after it. So he will go down, and now Tomlin again a chance to get out of this inning after the leadoff double.
Don Kelly has flied to right and struck out tonight. Down the right field line, but hooks it foul. But pretty much if you're Michael Brantley or Trevor Crowe, I'd be on your toes because that's where he's hit the ball in the first 2 games of this doubleheader.
Yeah.
It's been in the air. It's been to center or to right. Tigers 2 for 9 with a runner in scoring position. Driven deep to right, but foul.
All right, still ahead. It's 2 strikes. Another 0-2 count.
Marson out for a quick chat. He's fouled both down the right side.
That is the 6th 0-2 count tonight for Josh.
See if he throws that breaking ball in the dirt to Kelly.
Well, see if he'll expand it. That's right. And will he go after it?
He did, and he dug it out anyway.
Typical left-hander loves that ball down.
Tomlin, pitch number 79. Activity in the Indians bullpen. High fastball.
There you go. That's a good pitch to take him off the breaking stuff and maybe how you want to get him out. Change his eye level. He went upstairs with a good fastball. You may want to go up there again. You know, maybe even a little higher if he was swinging at that when he's protecting 0-2.
Yeah, because with an 0-2 count, you don't
have to throw a strike now. You can go out of the strike zone 1 or 2 pitches to get to your pitch you want to get him out with. So if you're going to try and get him out with your curveball or the one in the dirt, go up high again. Only elevated maybe a little more than that last one was. He chased that one. That was a ball. Sometimes it's tough to throw it up higher than that, though.
Curveball again. He went down, dug it out, but it stays up for Crowe. And the inning is over. Boy, nice pitching by Josh Tomlin. Defense made some nice plays behind him, but he's walking the tightrope. 3-2 Detroit. 5 innings pitched in his first 12 starts. He's matched to the mark of Steve Dunning in 1970.
Well, today would have been a day where he was teetering after giving up the 2-run homer in the first, and they had opportunities. And I'll tell you what, he battled his way through it. He's probably done because I can see the bullpen up and throw, but I'll tell you what, he battled, and he's in the ball game.
The 0-2, strike 3 called. And Drew Sutton, strikeout victim for the second time tonight. That's a half dozen Ks now for Justin Verlander. 1 down here in the 5th. Our GMC 5-star league leader is brought to you by the GMC Sierra. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. Well, this, again, we talked about this earlier, but here again is Exhibit A when it comes to the argument and the banter about American League Cy Young Award candidates and who deserves it, who should win it, and why you should win it, and why you shouldn't win it.
Well, we can certainly talk about it because we don't get a vote for it, so it doesn't matter, so we can just talk about it.
Felix Hernandez, though, I mean, he's got some pretty impressive numbers, 232 strikeouts to lead the league. He leads the league in innings pitched by a bunch, 249 2/3. Leads the league in earned run average. Opponent's batting average against, he leads the league in that category. Where he falls woefully short, however, is in the wins department.
Well, I know. When you go behind the numbers, though, see how many times that he pitched a 1-0 game or gave up 1 or 2 or fewer runs and got the loss. How many runs they scored in his losses.
Now, here's the argument that people in his camp would say. If he pitched for, let's say, the Yankees like Sabathia, and I think that's the argument that's being used because Sabathia is viewed by many as the favorite. There are those who would say he might have 24 wins. Now,
doesn't work that way.
You don't know for sure.
He's not pitching for the Yankees.
Not, he's exactly right.
At least not now, anyway.
He's not pitching under the white-hot glare of the spotlight and under the microscope like Sabathia is. I mean, CeCe's had a remarkable season. 21 wins. He's right up there in ERA and strikeouts and innings pitched. He had a bad start his last time out against Tampa, and you would have thought the world came to an end for Yankee fans. Ooh. Did not get the call, full count.
Well, Zach Greinke won it last year, and he didn't have the wins. What did he have, 13? 14? He had 16.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
He had
exactly.
16 now that I think about it.
Walk to Marson. That's the first free pass issued by Verlander, and that's impressive considering how many 3-2 counts he's had. Only 5, Tommy? 5 3-2 counts? Seems like more than that, but. Brantley hammers it into the right field corner. Marson has the hammer down. He's heading for third. He might be waved home. Smith's going to give him the wave. Here he comes. Relay to the plate. He is safe, and we are tied at 3. Michael Brantley goes to third on the throw. He delivers a game-tying RBI double with 1 out here in the 5th.
I'll tell you what, Smitty, that was a heck of a call. The reason why he sent him, that ball stuck underneath the fence, and they were going to have to make 2 good throws. coming in from the outfield from Wells to Sizemore. Now Brantley put good numbers in. Look at it stick between the pads. He comes up and gets it to Sizemore. Here comes the throw. Marson hustling, gets that foot on the plate. And look at Smitty waving him all the way around. Good hustle.
Jim Leland's going to come out and argue because the ball was stuck. But don't you have to ask for help from the umpire if you're the outfielder?
Well, no, you get after it.
Or is that just simply in play there?
I mean, if it's stuck and you can't get it out, it's still in play.
He was just going out to ask for clarification on the grounds rules, but
it sticks between the pad. But you know what? That's there. I mean, it's not you can't find it. It's not buried. You dig it out. And that's good hustle.
And give Brantley credit with a triple on that, by the way.
Okay. That's fine with me, and that's a tie ball game.
Up high to Crow. You know, at first, Rick, I thought he just went to third on the throw, but in retrospect, I think it's a good call to give him a triple because I'm not sure they would have got him at third anyway.
They wouldn't have. You're right. And when you look, and we showed you that angle where Smitty was sending Marson, you could see Brantley was not far behind.
Closing the gap on
yes,
him,
he was.
Infield in. Go ahead, run at third. Crow straighten up with a high heat. Verlander may be angry now.
Yeah,
he cranks it up mid-90s.
That pitch count there is also getting up there, though. The Indians have done a beautiful job tonight. They really have. They have their infield in. There's one out, and there's the go-ahead run 90 feet away.
Swung on and missed. Boy, had a good cut, but that's that heat.
Well, like here, 2-0 count. He challenged him with a fastball. Here again, shorten your swing. You know he's going to hump up. He's going to try and throw it harder. You just need a nice short swing to put the ball in play. The infield's in. You don't have to hit it really deep. You got good wheels at third base.
The 2-1. And now the squeeze is on. Executed perfectly. Throw is in time. They do get him at first, but the run scores and the Indians take a 4-3 lead.
I'm going to tell you, that was a great job by Trevor Crow to get that ball out of the zone down, to get that run home. I mean, that was a terrific job on a squeeze play. Boy, you credit Trevor Crow, and he gets Brantley home. Watch where this pitch is. He gets it down and keeps it in fair territory. And the Indians are able to come back and take the lead. Look at this. What a great job. It was almost like a pitch out. Do you see where Laird was?
I think they knew.
And Verlander didn't throw it outside. Maybe he missed the play. He went high. It was supposed to be a pitch out. I think they guessed right with the Indians. I'll tell you, at third base, so for their inch, made a beautiful play just to throw it in the direction, and they get him out.
If you look at that replay again, the one we just showed you, you see Verlander kind of drop his head right in front of the mound as if he realized that he maybe missed the sign or didn't throw it where he wanted to. Because you saw Laird coming up out of the crouch, maybe was expecting it to be wide as like a pitch out. Take another look one more time.
He did not. They called pitch out. He didn't throw it.
But watch the reaction of Verlander. Watch him. You don't see it in that angle. With the other angle we had it.
What a great play. That is hard to do.
Curveball, strike three, inning over. Indians take the lead 4-3. Tonight's Mark's Deep Discount of the game. Pepsi 12 packs, 3 for $10 at any Northeast Ohio Mark's location.
So come into your nearest Mark's, where you'll find a huge selection at low prices every day.
Well, they're going over it right now, Matt, about that pitch out or something. They wanted something away, and Verlander's explaining it to Laird. Laird's telling him what he thought or what he saw. I'll tell you, that was for Trevor Crow, that was unbelievable to put that ball down and play. Beautiful job. Let's look at our H.H. Gregg pitching change. Justin Germano coming in. And now when you look at Josh Tomlin, he's in line for the win. He went his 5 innings, gave up 3 runs, and the Indians come back and take the lead. Germano coming on for the 22nd time. Turns it over to the bullpen, and they're going to have some action.
Scott Sizemore, Gerald Laird, Austin Jackson. Well, thanks to the effort by Mitch Talbot this afternoon, this is a bullpen that probably is raring and ready to go. Off day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not that anybody's raring and ready to go on the 4th of the last day of the season, but one down here in the 6th. Scoreboard update brought to you by Wendy's. You know when it's real, Wendy's. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and a count 0-2.
Tommy Bowe tells me, Matty, that tonight Josh Tomlin, even though he was hit around and he made some mistakes in the strike zone, he threw 73% strikes tonight.
Well, and I think the key there is the ball bounced to third. Nix throws another one out, 2 down. He didn't give in when the going was rough there in those first 2 innings, and it could have turned one way or the other badly for him. He kept hanging in there, making some pitches.
Continued to stay ahead, and he made the pitch to get the strikeouts when needed and get the main outs when needed.
How many times in our years and in your many years covering the ball games, that second inning when that little dink hit by Damon dropped in, do you see a guy just completely drop his head and all of a sudden the whole thing gets away from him? But instead, Tomlin comes back, he gets Wells, gets out of the inning, even though he gave up another run there. He didn't implode. He didn't let that,
right.
Well, we've seen guys have meltdowns
before. He was the reason that hit took
right.
place. But, I mean, he buckled down. He sure did. He realized it. He got the outs when needed. And that's what you like about the guy. Another 5 innings, 12 straight starts this year with 5 innings.
He had first and third, 1 out in the 3rd. Didn't allow him to score. First and 3rd again in the 5th inning. Did not allow him to score. So he had some moments where he had to battle.
Now, there's only one other guy that started his career going 5 or more innings. And he tied him tonight, Steve Dunning, back in 1970. So that says something about this young man right here. About the knack of pitching.
Throw down to second base, runner going, and they got him. Good night, Austin Jackson. Gunned down by Lou Marson. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Tribe on top 4-3. Indians with a 4-3 lead. Even though they've been out hit 10-5, and thanks in part to Shelley Duncan, who got the Indians going in that 4th inning with a 1-out double, and then came around to score on the 2-out RBI hit by Jason Nix.
They've done everything you have to do against a guy like Verlander to take the lead. The first hit, they had 1 hit, and they scored on a wild pitch.
Today, Rick, would be exhibit 1 of maximizing your opportunities.
Well, that's what you have to do when you're facing a good pitcher. You really have to.
Here's the answer to the AT&T trivia question. AT&T Rethink Possible. And the answer is, let's play 2.
Yeah, why not? Let's play 2. Ernie Banks, how about that? Perfect. That was a little, if you read between the lines, I'll tell you, Redbird's something, isn't he?
He's good.
Ernie Banks, let's play 2. It's a double dip.
Because honestly, if you know that he's the only 500 hitter with less than 800 walks, there's something wrong with you. Redbird just told me, I want you to know I didn't really know that.
Yes, he did.
I looked it up.
See, no, he didn't. He knew it all along.
Speaking of laughs, that was a pretty neat deal. Al just showed us on the update a little while ago what the guys did in Toronto with Cito Gaston retiring. They had a great ceremony before the game, paid tribute, video tributes from all the game's greats. And then Vernon Wells got up and gave him first-class airfare to destination of his choice. And then
it's the moon.
Cito got up and addressed the crowd and teared up. And then to break the moment of all the players drew fake mustaches in honor of Cito. And Vernon Wells was complimenting Cito on his mustache during his speech, and then all the players put the fake mustaches on him to go out. That's outstanding. 2 down here in the 6th. But Cito Gaston, what first thing comes to your mind when you think of Cito Gaston?
Well, World Championship for Toronto. He brought back-to-back World Championships.
Just a class individual. The 0-1 pop back out of play.
It is final, and he won't be back, right? Because remember we had Pat Salver on here when he came into town for a week. He said, I may not be 100% sure. Cito may want to come back.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the offseason with the jobs that we know that are open.
Yeah, should be a lot.
With potentially some more jobs opening up, too.
Oh, boy.
Good hook. Good inning for Verlander. Indians go 1-2-3. They lead it 4-3.
by AT&T. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T, rethink possible. By the Sierra from GMC. Never send a truck to do a Sierra's job. And by Wendy's. You know when it's real. Wendy's.
Well, it started out looking like Detroit would run away and hide with Game 2 of this doubleheader, with Justin Verlander on the mound looking for his 19th win of the year. They had a 3-zip lead after 2, or going into the bottom of the second anyway. And the Indians have managed to come back and take a 4-3 lead, and now they turn it over to Justin Masterson here in the 7th inning.
5 by Tomlin, 1 by Germano, and now it's Masterson's turn to try and go an inning.
And a first pitch strike. Johnny Damon, Casper Wells, Ryan Rayburn. Swung on and missed. He got him. Take a look at our pitching matchup, brought to you by the new G Series from Gatorade. 3 fuels for 3 stages of the game. Gatorade has evolved. That's G.
Well, you look at it, it's been done different ways. Verlander with 7 punch-outs as well. But they have 4 runs. They were able to get them across. Tomlin gave up just 3. So he's in line for the win. Try and keep that win streak going over Detroit here in Progressive Field in the second half.
Trying to make it 8 straight. Big bouncer. Nice play by Brown. Throws on the move, and Masterson's there to cover. 2 away.
Well, the Terrace Club's gourmet catering and atmosphere makes it a perfect location for a corporate or private holiday party. Special discounts available for corporate partners, Terrace Club members, and season ticket holders. Make this year's holiday event really special. 216-420-4840 to reserve a date. Well, the bullpen. How about this, Germano? It's 13 pitches, 11 strikes for Germano and Masterson. Got to like that. That's following a guy that started it through 73% strikes.
And 0-2 the count here on Ryan Rayburn, who started this game with a 2-out, 2-run homer in the first, staking the Tigers to the lead. Their only other run came in the second, and it came on kind of a fluke play. Just a slow chopper that was over the mound, between the mound and second base, and it just fell in between Josh Tomlin and Luis Valbuena. And as you pointed out, had Tomlin probably just yielded, Valbuena might have been able to make the play, but Valbuena saw Tomlin coming at him. And
yeah, that was a weird play. How many times do you see a pitcher trying to make a catch on the infield?
That's not one they practice in PFP.
No, they're probably saying, well, I don't blame Tomlin. He wanted that out because he got the strikeout, the hitter before. He was not going to let that fall. But he battled it, came back, and got out of it. I understand the whole situation, really.
Masterson came out through 8 straight strikes to open this inning. Now he's missed on his last 2. And the big right-hander deals. If the Indians can hang on and win this, they will have come back to even the season series at 9 games apiece with Detroit. Swung on and missed. He got him, and Masterson strikes out a pair here in the 7th. Stretch time in Cleveland. Tribe on top 4-3. Progressive Field, want to remind you, you can visit any of Panini's 18 locations in northeastern Ohio, now including Twinsburg. Visit paninisgrill.com for a location near you. Now into the ballgame defensively for Detroit. Brennan Bosch for Casper Wells. Tribe with a one-run lead. Justin Verlander. He's still out there slinging it, trying to keep his team in it, hope they can rally.
Well, yeah, now you got to rely on your offense to come back. He had the lead, couldn't hold it.
This will be his 100th pitch of the night. And Valbuena 0 for 2 both times he has grounded out to second base.
For Verlander against the Tribe, he has won his last 6 decisions dating back to May 3rd of last year. 70 strikeouts. It covers a stretch of 8 starts.
Peralta called off by Jackson. 1 away. Here's our Miller Taste Greatness moment on this date in 1954. It's not a great moment for Indians fans.
No, this is game 1.
This is a play in baseball lore. Willie Mays with the over-the-shoulder grab in deep center field. Off the bat of Vic Wertz.
Got a pinch hitter now. Cabrera coming on for Sutton.
Yeah, Manny probably figures in a one-run game, get Valbuena out there for defense late. Might as well, Cabrera out there for defense late and get him in a bat.
Yeah, Sutton went down twice swinging, so he's going to let Cabrera try and take a shot at him.
Rick, is there any difference for a hitter, whether it be starting a game against a guy like Verlander or coming off the bench late when a guy has the kind of weapons he has and throws as hard as he has?
No.
I mean, if you've had a couple of at-bats, do you feel better?
I think it's better when you come off the bench. Just ask Cabrera.
You're not thinking, you're just going up there swinging.
Basically, that's all you're doing.
Once you faced him a couple times, he might be deep in your mind.
Yeah. Not right here. Cabrera gets a little low fastball. He fights it off. 6th hit, so he made it look easy. Verlander is a quick thrower to first base, too. When he starts his windup, he always throws to first base. Once he comes set, he never throws over there. It's going to be quick. His hands are right there at his belt. And once he comes set, he normally goes home.
He tries to use that element of surprise.
Yeah,
make you think he's not paying attention.
You have to get your lead early, because if he's throwing, it's going to be right there. Before he's got the ball in his hands, he just wants to turn and do it quickly. Once he comes set, he'll quick pitch you, but once he gets the hands to the belt, rarely will he throw to first. There, he's just holding it a little longer.
Marson fouls it back. Lou drew a key walk in the 5th inning. It was the only walk Verlander has allowed tonight with 1 out. And then he would come around and score all the way from first on a triple into the right field area by Michael Brantley. A ball that got stuck in the fence momentarily, got wedged between the padding. And that enabled Marson to come all the way around and score. And now he drives one up the middle. Back-to-back hits for the Indians here in the 7th.
Well, an 0-2 pitch, too, from Verlander. Let's Marson right back up the middle. That one, look at Lou, inside out it. Too good of a pitch on an 0-2 pitch.
Double barrel action in the Tiger bullpen. But hey, let's face it, folks. Jim Leyland, he wants to give Verlander every opportunity he can to try and get out of this.
Well, he sure does, because here's a guy that has great numbers off him in Michael Brantley in his young career. But this is your guy. He's going to be out there letting him try and,
in the dirt, runners to second and third. Second wild pitch of the night.
Number 11 on the season.
Rick, if it's any other pitcher, over 100 in the game, runners at first and second, 1 out. In this situation, he'd probably be out of the game with the left-on-left matchup guy coming in.
I would think so. But there's the wild pitch. And, it doesn't necessarily mean that he has to throw a strike here to Brantley. They'll bring it in. He may just be careful, because, believe me, Verlander knows that Brantley has had pretty good success.
Good pitch. Fastball just above the belt. Indians trying to add on. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Now, even with a guy like Verlander on the hill, Brantley just shows you that he's got very good discipline, because he's got a great eye, and you just don't see him chase very often.
That's what makes him such a good hitter. Rarely will you see him go out of his game plan, even though you have runners in scoring position.
3-1.
I don't think he wants to throw him a strike. I personally felt he was going to walk him anyway. Brantley already with 2 hits on the day. The last one, a triple that drove in the go-ahead run.
4 straight starts. Justin Verlander has gone over 120 pitches. Could he be headed there again? He's over 110.
And Brantley drove in the tying run. Scored the go-ahead run on Trevor Crow's beautiful squeeze bunt.
Now the 3-1. Strike called. Brantley thought it was ball 4. Instead, it's a full count.
Well, both pitches that he's thrown Brantley in this at bat have been fastballs. I don't know if he's going to get one here.
Pitch number 113. Walked him, and they're loaded. And now we'll see what the Tigers do. They're going to stick with Verlander as Jim Leyland gives instruction to his infield on what he wants to do.
Yeah, well, with Crow, now Crow can hit into some double plays.
Well, that's why I think Jim Leyland was saying play the infield in, but middle infielders back up, just so if you get one hit at you, you can still turn two.
Believe it or not, the way Trevor runs, he leads his team in grounding into double plays with 13. If it's a one-hop smash right to them, they'll go for two. If not, they'll try and come in to cut off the run at home plate. What it does, though, it cuts down your range for those infielders.
Just barely got away from Laird, so nobody advances. But believe me, as wild as Verlander can be at times, he's thrown 2 wild pitches in the game. Base runners have to be on their toes.
Well, and just think, the last time this happened with 1 out, there was a squeeze play. So that's in the back of their mind as well. Now, especially if the count gets into the hitter's favor. All this comes into play.
The 1-0 to Crow. Swung on and missed.
I mean, and he's going from the full windup now. He was from the stretch there. Here comes the runner. High pitch and a beautiful bunt. Really nice. Now he's from the full windup. Now you can't square early. You square early, you get one right between the old noggin. It's just challenging him now. It's power here. He's saying, you can't hit my fastball, pal.
97, 96. Now the 1 and the 1-2. And he blew him away.
He just challenged him.
2 down, 3 straight fastballs, pumped him by him.
And that makes you think, like, sometimes, why do you mess around with a lot of different hitters? He just stayed high fastballs to Crow, and he just throws 3 right by him.
9 strikeouts for Verlander. So Shin-Soo Choo with the bases loaded and 2 down. Tribe on top by a run. Choo trying to put some distance between the Indians and the Tigers. Our attendance here tonight for the doubleheader, 12,227. So for the season, the Indians draw 1,391,644 to Progressive Field. Choo 0 for 3 Ks against Verlander. And he did not go, says Alan Porter down at third.
Well, Choo can break their backs right here. He has not put a ball in play yet.
Fouled it straight back. Cabrera at third. Marson at second. Brantley down at first. And the 1-1 to Choo. Swung on and missed. Up over 100 miles an hour for Verlander.
Well,
and that was on his 120th pitch of the night. So that's now 5 straight starts that Justin Verlander has gone 120 pitches or more.
It could be his last pitch of this year. One way or the other.
Got him. Wow, what a job by Verlander. 10 strikeouts on the night. He loads them up, but comes back with back-to-back Ks to get out of the jam. Indians still lead it 4-3.
by the authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Indians on top 4-3. 8th inning here at Progressive Field. Well, let's show you the changes for the Tribe. First off, Joe Smith. He's up there on the mound, 52nd time this year, 2 wins, 2 losses, earned run average of .399. Andy Marte comes into the ballgame now defensively. He takes over third as Drupal Cabrera. You saw him pinch hit. He's at short.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe Smith's got to come in now, and he's got some tough acts to follow because the pitching of the Indians tonight, 74% strikes.
He'll face Johnny Peralta, and his former teammate bangs it off his foot.
Tomlin threw 59 strikes out of 81 pitches. Germano, 6 of his 8 pitches were strikes, and Masterson, 10 of his 12. They have pounded the strike zone tonight.
A little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swung out and missed, moved it in on him. And the 1-2 hit on the ground to second. Valbuena throws out Peralta, 1 down here in the 8th.
Well, if you want to play baseball in January and you want to do it in Arizona, come to the 2011 Cleveland Indians Fantasy Camp. January 15th through the 22nd, all-inclusive week held out there. Renaissance Hotel, a beautiful place to stay, a full week of baseball stories. Good times had by all. 216-420-HITS or visit Indians.com and check out the Fantasy Camp tab. It is fun.
Brandon Inge looks at a strike, so Joe Smith picking up right where the others left off. 4 out of 5 strikes thrown. Inge shoots it out of play, and it's 0-2. Well, Justin Verlander gave it a game effort tonight.
Well,
he's just hoping that offense can get him off the hook maybe now.
Well, that's exactly it, because he's not going back out there, so they're going to have to do it in a hurry.
Well, Inge on 3 pitches strikes out for the 2nd time tonight. And with 2 down, we are going to get a new pitcher.
Yeah, he
with
called
Don Kelly, a left-hander, coming up. And we're going to get a pinch hitter then for Kelly.
Well, it looks like Perez coming in, and it looks like Santiago coming out of the dugout.
So left-hander Rafael Perez will be coming on. Ramon Santiago will be pinch hitting for Detroit when we come back.
top half of the 8th inning with 2 outs. And want to remind you that the day after Thanksgiving, Progressive Field will be transformed into a winter wonderland. Over 150 tons of snow will be made each day. That'll give you and your family a chance to come down and enjoy tubing, ice skating, and much, much more. And there'll be something for everybody. For information, visit Indians.com/snowdays. Little shoots coming down from the top of the bleachers going out to second base. Ought to be a lot of fun. Rafael Perez coming out for the 69th time this year. And try and hold it. Smith came in. We got to let you know he threw 7 pitches, 6 strikes. So they continue to add.
They've all done it. I mean, you talk about something being contagious.
Right.
That's been the key here for the Indians pitchers here tonight in the nightcap of this doubleheader. Ramon Santiago. Chris Perez starting to heat up in that Indians bullpen. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-hander Rafi Perez at the belt for a called strike. 1-2 the count. And the 1-2 pitch is inside. Where this game really changed for the Indians was once Josh Tomlin got his legs under him. First time through the lineup, Detroit went 5 for 9 against him. Second and third times through, 4 for 15. Tomlin went 5 innings tonight. He only walked 1, and as Rick said, over 70% strikes for Tomlin. Got out of some jams, limited the damage. And he's in front by a run at this point. The 2-2 to Santiago. Full count. Rafael Perez wants a new baseball.
This is the first full count that they've had all night long. Coming here in the 8th inning.
Ripped to left field. Duncan plays it on the short hop. And Santiago with a nice pinch hit appearance keeps the inning alive for Detroit. And with 2 down and a runner at first, Scott Sizemore will be the batter, and back we go to the bullpen. So the Indians will call on the right-hander. Not sure who we had out there.
It's going to be Chris Perez.
It is. He's going to go to Chris Perez for the 4-out save.
Day off tomorrow.
Yes, indeed he do. So we've got a timeout. We'll be right back. Tribe up 4-3. Well, here we are, 1 on, 2 out in the 8th inning. Chris Perez looking for a 4-out save. Will Rhymes will pinch hit for Scott Sizemore. Up high for ball 1. A called strike. Chris Perez already has 4-out saves this year. And he has converted his last 8 one-run save situations. There's a ball hit in the air, out of play.
Well, those are the tough ones, the one-runners.
Overall, he's converted 9 straight, 17 of his last 18.
Yeah, I mean, late June, he's been lights out.
One ball and 2 strikes. Oh, Rhymes chased a ball up out of the strike zone, fights it off.
Amazing he got a piece of it up there.
That's what I was
You're
thinking.
talking about a mid-90s, 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That's up above the letters. You're lucky to get a piece of it.
Now CP comes set on the 1-2. The runner going low on the breaking ball. Santiago into second base with the steal.
All right, now base hit could tie it up.
Now the 2-2. A little bit outside, full count. Gerald Laird waits on deck. 2 down, bottom of the 8th, or 2 down, top of the 8th, excuse me. And the payoff pitch. Strike him out looking. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. And the Indians stay in front 4-3. 4-3 Indians on top. And we've got changes to tell you about defensively for Detroit. Ryan Perry is the new pitcher. The new first baseman is Johnny Peralta, who made his first appearance at first base not that long ago. Will Rhymes now at second. And Santiago is over at short.
So Justin Verlander will not get to 19. He may take the loss if they cannot come back, and they have 3 outs to get it.
Johnny Peralta played first base for the first time in his career on September the 2nd in a game against Minnesota. Duncan looks at a fastball for a strike, evens the count of 1-1. I seem to remember the Indians talking about Peralta potentially playing some first base.
They sure did. They sent him to the other corner over at third base, though.
Yeah. The 1-1. Outside. Ryan Perry, power arm, gets it up there, upper 90s. Duncan doubled and scored in the 4th inning. And a chopper foul. Don't forget, Sports Time Ohio is your new home for MAC football. Saturday, October 9th at 3:30. Akron takes on Kent. Homecoming for the Golden Flashes. The wagon wheel on the line. Log on to STOHD.com for complete MAC coverage by Mike Perry. Here is Ryan Perry with a 2-2, and it's in off the plate, full count. It's only a 1-run game, but the big difference tonight has been the Indians' pitcher's ability to throw a lot of strikes and Justin Verlander's inability to do that at times. And I don't know that that necessarily cost him, Rick, but he had a lot of full counts, and he just struggled to be able to consistently get hitters out early in counts, and that ran his pitch count up there. And
well, when he came back, and you look back in, like, let's say the 4th inning, when he needed outs back in the 7th inning, what did he do? He went to number 1.
Yeah.
He powered his way through it. You know, in the middle part of the ball game with Marson, he walked Marson. He came to score. Brantley hit a fastball, but the one pitch I will second guess is the changeup he threw to Jason Nix that let him drive in a run when he had 2 outs and 2 strikes on him. Got him.
Duncan gets hit, and the Indians get their leadoff man aboard here last of the 8th in the Tribe. Would love to add an insurance run here. Jordan Brown will be the batter. Well, it's one thing, as you say, Rick, it's one thing to second guess and go back and look. But pitchers always say, you know, if I'm going to get beat, I don't want to get beat with my second or third best pitch.
You know, I've seen him throw changeups before, and I'm not second guessing. I really don't want to make it sound like it's a second guess, but he had such a good fastball and curveball tonight. That was primarily his 2-pitch mix right there. Mm-hmm. And to me, I thought tonight his changeup might have been his 4th best pitch. I could be wrong, but I didn't see him throwing many changeups before that base hit there. And when I was watching Laird put down the signs, he went he went slider, curveball, fastball in, then the wiggle. So that was the last choice by the catcher. So that tells me he wasn't going to call for it, and that's the one that Verlander wanted to throw. But it was a base hit, and that didn't give up the game. They came back the next inning and scored 2 runs. That just helped the Indians get back in the game.
But it's games like this, the tightly contested, low-scoring affairs where baseball is ripe for the picking when it comes to going back and overanalyzing and looking at every little detail.
Well, and that's what you have to do. That separates wins and losses. You learn from mistakes, and you move on. There's a lot of other things in this ball game that happened. The best thing in this game that happened for the Indians was the Trevor Crowe squeeze play on a pitch that was out of the strike zone. It looked like the Tigers guessed right calling the pitch out, and it didn't look like Justin Verlander threw the pitch out. It was up around the strike zone, and Crowe got the ball down, and that was a go-ahead run. That was unbelievable play.
Fly ball left field. That's the first out here in the inning. Well, let's go back to the first game of the series. Talk about little things. Jim Leyland had nobody out. Runners at first and second. Fourth inning, Will Rhymes is at the plate. Leyland put the runners in motion. He said, I guessed wrong. They were in a bunt defense, and Alex Avila is a tough guy to bunt over. He was the runner at second base. He says, I guessed wrong. I guessed he would throw him a fastball to make him bunt it, and he threw him a changeup. And it was a good play, but it didn't work.
Right. Well, the pitch that he didn't hit, he didn't put on the ground. It was actually a bad pitch to hit on the hit and run.
Yeah.
You know, he thought they might have was going to throw him a fastball to bunt, and it would be a good pitch for Rhymes. And like he said, he was wrong. But that's you know, you have to take chances like that when you're a manager. And it didn't pay off. The guy was thrown out at third base.
And it kind of squelched a potential big inning.
Well, it gave him the first out, and you only had a runner at second base, but with one out. That was in the fourth inning of that ball game. As a matter of fact, they ended up getting 4 straight hits in that inning. They only got the 1 run.
Right. Yeah, in that first game, the Tigers had all the hits. The Indians had all the homers. The 1-1. If I remember right, I think they had 8 singles in the first game of that series.
11 out of their 13 hits.
And a breaking ball misses down low. 3-1. So now the set on the 3-1 pitch. And a full count. Runner goes. Strike 3 called. Throw down. Not in time. Laird's complaining that Marte interfered. He's not going to get the call from Jim Reynolds. Well, he's saying that Peralta stepped right, or excuse me, that Marte stepped right in front of him.
Well, he bobbled the ball. I don't know if he made contact, but he bobbled the ball on the throw, and that's why he wasn't able to throw. Watch. I don't see a contact, even though he did step out. You got to make contact. Just because he steps over that dish. You see Laird stop. If he continued with that play and hit him, then you'd end up getting it.
That second look at the stolen base, courtesy of Saucony Shoes, dedicated to inspiring every runner every day. At Saucony we run. And so the Indians get the runner into scoring position, but with 2 down now for Luis Valbuena. Popped up. Foul ground. And a nice running grab by Rayburn. We go to the 9th here at Progressive Field for the final time this year. Indians trying to close it out with a win. Ninth here at Progressive Field. Those young fans hoping to see Chris Perez nail down an Indians victory to close out the home portion of the schedule. Alex Avila. And he looks at ball one. (2-0) and Avila with a fly ball left field. In comes Shelley Duncan. One down. Stick around after the ball game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. We'll look back at the highlights, and we'll look forward to the final 3 games of the season, which will come from Chicago. Have all 3 for you. 2 on Sports Time Ohio, 1 on Channel 3. I believe it's the Saturday game that you'll see.
That is correct.
On Channel 3. But we'll have all that for you coming up on the post-game show. In the air, center field. Back is Brantley. 2 down in the ninth. Now the hearty band of Indians fans that have turned out for this doubleheader rise to their feet as the Indians try to close it out with 2 down here in the ninth. Johnny Damon will be the batter. Didn't go, says Alan Porter. Damon doubled and singled, drove in a run in his first 2 trips. Flied out, struck out since then. Boy, 3 balls, no strikes. Strike in the inside corner. Yanked foul, full count. Damon broke his bat, gets a new piece of lumber. Perez ready. The payoff pitch to Damon. High and wide, ball 4. So the tying run reaches with 2 down here in the ninth. Brennan Bosch will be the batter. Bosch 1 for 4. Or excuse me, Casper Wells was 1 for 4 with a double. Bosch gets his first at bat since coming on defensively. Swing and a miss. I guess Bosch did get an AB back in the 7th. scorecard's a little messy right now. Putting it mildly. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second base. Not in time. Damon gets the steal. So now the tying run into scoring position. Bosch down on the count 0-2. Damon with his 11th steal. Crowd on its feet. Perez trying to put it away. Bouncing it in there, and a good block by Marson to keep Damon at second base. He wasn't going to hang that breaking ball, that's for sure.
No.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out to end the game. The Indians finish the sweep of the Detroit Tigers with a 4-3 victory. The winning pitcher is Josh Tomlin. He goes to 6-4. Chris Perez gets his 23rd save of the year. It's his 5th 4-out save, which is tied for first in the league with Andrew Bailey of Oakland. Justin Verlander is the loser. He drops to 18-9 on the year. With the win, the Indians are 68-91. Detroit drops to 80-78. The Indians beat Detroit for the 7th straight time at home, and they finish the season series with the Tigers all squared at 9 apiece. Time now for our play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank. Switch to Key and get a free Sony Bloggy. Visit key.com/bloggy for details.
One of the nicest squeeze plays you will ever see to give the Indians a lead. Watch Trevor Crowe. They call the pitch out. Verlander doesn't pitch out. Here comes the runner. He goes up high in the strike zone, able to get that bunt down on about a 95-mile-an-hour strike. That was unbelievable, that play right there by Trevor Crowe, and the Indians never gave it back. They got the lead, they kept it, and then Josh Tomlin is going to go ahead and get the win. Beautiful play. That's our KeyBank key play of the game.
Great day of baseball here at Progressive Field for the Indians. A doubleheader sweep of the Tigers, a 3-game sweep in the series, and the Indians say goodbye to their fans for the 2010 season, off to Chicago for a 3-gamer to finish it up. We're back with the Conrad's postgame show next.